Hey, what's going on, y'all? I'm Brandon Atlanta Man Bang, coming to you live right here at Coach's Corner, the center of the universe, Thunderbolt, Georgia. Another installment of Rubbin' and Grubbin'. Rubbin' is racing, grubbin' is tasting, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, as y'all do every single Wednesday, 6 o'clock right here on Coach's Corner Sports Network, man. Such a blast, got a lot to go over. We're getting ready to get things kicked off here with this Busch Light Clash coming up, so we're going to touch base on it. Some other NASCAR news coming out, as obviously, as it does usually every single week. But you guys also know what we do, man. We're going to start it out with the word of the day. So if you checked out the video on YouTube, I did have a comment, and somebody took a shot every time I said the word of the day last week, just during the Who's Hot segment. I have no idea what the word was. We're getting ready to let you know right now. So it looked like, let's see, last week's was Hendrick. That's last week's. I know I said that quite a lot, so guaranteed if you played along, you got tore up. But first time tuning in, the way we play this, man, is every time I say a word, you're gonna take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. I always say it's age appropriate as well. If you're under the age of 21, get hyped up on some sugar right here, middle of the week, man. Lawrence, producer, is going to throw a word up here pretty soon. And like I said, every time I say that word, you're going to take a sip of your favorite adult beverage. So this week's word of the day is going to be, have no idea what that is. Like I said, last week was Hendrick, but every time I say this new word, make sure you take a sip if you're watching here tonight, man. So getting right into it, I want to start some things off. So moving right into the NASCAR news, man. Here we go, getting ready to get it started off. Let's see, we're 4 days away from the Busch Light Clash there at the LA Coliseum, man. And what a race I think it's going to be. Not only from the way NASCAR has actually organized this with the heat races to that 150 main event, 150 lap main event, but just the entertainment side, and really it's turning into almost like a Super Bowl thing, man. You've got a lot of big name guys that are going out there. You've got a lot of people going to have eyes on it. A lot of musicians doing shows. You've got a lot of celebrities as hosts, as all kinds of different things, man. So make sure you check that out. I think the main event's at 6. I know it starts Saturday with some single car qualifying and practice, and then the heat races start, I want to say, at 2 or 3 in the afternoon Sunday, and the main event, 150 laps, is at 6 o'clock, man. So make sure you tune into that. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind deal. There's not going to be another race all year long that is very similar to this. And like I said, week before the Super Bowl, I think it's definitely going to have the Super Bowl feel. But we're going to get a little bit more into this in just a little bit, man. So I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with it, but it looked like Daytona 500 for the first time in 40-something years, I think, since the 70s, might have not had a 40-car field, man. So barring anything bad happening to some of these single-car teams that are probably only going to bring one race car to this event, barring anything in single-car qualifying or in these 125s wrecking out big time, you're going to see a 40-car field there, man, which is a big deal because there again, as we've taught the past couple of weeks, supply chain shorting on NASCAR as well. It's outreaching to everybody, man. So glad to see that they got it in there, and we're going to have a full field there at Daytona 500. And I tell you what, we already know it's going to be a sellout crowd. That is going to be your race here in a couple of weeks, man. So more big news, Trackhouse Racing there signs a deal with UFC President Dana White and Howlerhead Whiskey, man. So there again, adding some new sponsors into the sport, which I think are amazing, and this is actually a cross-sport interaction. Yeah, it's not the UFC sponsoring a car, but it is something, with the president of the UFC and Dana White, man, carrying over that whiskey to him. And I loved his comments on the article. He said, 2 things I love, really fast cars and whiskey. So, hey, man, they go hand in hand. NASCAR whiskey goes hand in hand, man. So glad to see Dana spending some money and jumping on board over here on the NASCAR thing, man. But it looks like he's going to be the sponsor of the one car on Ross Chastain as well, out of that Trackhouse Racing. If you know, last year they took over the Ganassi, stable, and that is now Trackhouse Racing. Ross Chastain stayed on driving the one car, and Daniel Suarez as well. So it's going to be the sponsor on Chastain's car. Like I said, think it's great, not only for Trackhouse, but also for President UFC Dana White as well, man. More big news dropping this week, which is surprising because the guy never really retired, just kind of stepped away from it. Greg Biffle, man. Rumors are Greg Biffle's coming back to make a run in this Daytona 500 in the number 44 car. It's a deal supposedly between NY Racing and Richard Childress Racing. He has been spotted at Richard Childress Racing, get it fitted for a seat. So one can only speculate that he's coming back here, coming up in Daytona. The Biff's back, man. I mean, I tell you what, he came back, last year, year before, a couple races there he came back. I know he won a truck race for Kyle Busch, I think the first time he came back. But this will be his first stint back to the Cup Series since walking away in 16. And like I said, not really retired, just kind of walked away from it. But glad to see the Biff back, man. There again, guy can go out there and get it done, adds a little bit more talent back out in there. We'll see what kind of payday he can bring home in the Daytona 500, man, because honestly, I think that's really what it is. Get him some seat time, get something he enjoys doing, and go out there and make some money. So going to be a great time, man. So I want to give a big shout out. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, if you haven't yet, please go out there, like, share, follow all our social media. You can check us out on the Gram, YouTube, Twitter. Definitely make sure you subscribe to and share that YouTube channel, man. That is our bread and butter. Like I said, the more people and the more eyes we get on it, hopefully the more it spreads about the charity events that we do up here at Coach's Corner and the things that we do locally, because that's ultimately what it's all about. I get to sit up here and talk NASCAR. It's a great time, but really it's just about getting everybody together and bringing you that news, man, and raising some money for these charitable events that we do here at Coach's. So there again, thank you guys. Make sure you go out, like, share, follow all that social media, man. So Kyle Larson racing close to home here in Savannah. He was actually down there in Golden Isles in Brunswick, racing on that 4/10 of a mile in late model, Lucas Oil late models down there, man. So want to give him a big shout out. You know, I think that's awesome, getting out, still doing his thing dirt-wise locally. Let's see, what did he end up finishing? Oh, yeah, led for a while, man. I think he ended up finishing third, led like 27 out of the 50 there, kind of got shuffled back, hit the cushion a little bit late as well. You know, just, hey, man, it happens in dirt racing, but, hey, he was out there strong running, finishing third there, man. So changes coming to Martinsville Spring Race. Now this to me is probably some of the biggest news because this is something that hadn't happened in quite some time either. We're going down from 500 to 400 laps at that Martinsville race. And I get it. You know, NASCAR is a 7:30 start time. NASCAR's definitely got to do their thing. They got to kind of bring this down at Martinsville with the amount of cautions that are usually had. I mean, you're talking a 500-mile race sometimes takes 3.5 hours, you know, sometimes longer than that. So 7:30 start time, go from 500 to 400. But the best part about it is, man, is the cutoff race there in October at Martinsville is still going to remain at 500 miles, which I think is great. 100 extra laps around there, 100 extra miles around there is laps is amazing. And like I said, man, the 400 lap there in the spring only leads to one thing, man, less info when you go back there in the fall. So you're not going to get 100 plus laps of data there. You only get 400, man. So I think that's going to pay dividends, man. Checkered flag for charity, man. Moving right on to this. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. Man, I tell you, we've got a lot of things we're doing up here at Rubbin' and Grubbin' this year. We got to get some things lined out here before we start Daytona 500 officially, but you guys know how we do this. Whatever car number wins this clash coming up is getting ready to go in the bucket. I'm going to go ahead and throw a couple dollars in here, swear dollars. I hadn't sweared yet. I probably won't tonight. I'm not having anything to drink, but we will throw that in there, man. But like I say all the time, if you guys are ever in Coaches, man, let your servers know, your bartender know, let somebody know you like to donate to Checkered Flag for Charity or whatever charitable event it is we're having here at Coaches. Round it up. I say it all the time. It doesn't matter. Nickels, pennies, dimes, 10, 20s, 150s. Anything that you have to spare to give, all goes to good causes. It all stays local right here in Savannah. That is the best part about it, man. So like I said, Checkered Flag for Charity, more on that coming up here right before we get into Daytona. Make sure you stay tuned for that, man. So want to give a big shout out to one of my main sponsors outside of Coach's Corner here, man. Arbor Man Tree Service, Mr. Parker Eccles himself, man. Good buddy of mine, great friend. I tell you, anything that we do here at Coaches, he is always involved in. Any kind of charitable events, any kind of barbecue competitions, anything that we do at Coaches, he is always a part of it, man. And I want to give him a big shout out and big respect to Parker out there, man, because he's always coming through for me, man. Love you, brother. But like I say, Arbor Man Tree Service, any kind of tree service needs, tree trimming, I mean stump grinding, tree removal, man. Hey, if you're just looking at an estimate or just want somebody to come out and take a look, man, make sure you give Parker a call over there at Arbor Man. You'll see that number scrolling on the bottom of the screen whole time show's going. And as I always say, man, no job too big, too small, no tree too tall. Give Parker a call. He loves that, by the way. But yeah, man, like I said, make sure you give him a call for anything you need tree service wise. That's the man to do it, man. So there again, sponsored by Arbor, man, moving right into the who's hot and who's not. So this is going to get a little bit interesting here tonight. Got a few topics to talk about, some things that I'm thinking is hot right now, a couple things that I'm thinking not so much, but man, we're gonna get into it, not specifically towards drivers yet. We'll get into that probably after this weekend at the Clash and maybe after Daytona. But NASCAR, man, NASCAR's really outdone themselves with this Clash, and a lot of people have kind of frowned upon the Clash being moved from Daytona to LA Coliseum. And this is my way, man. We've done it at Daytona forever. You get the Clash, then you turn right around and you do twin 125s, and then you single car qualifying, and then the 500. And hey, man, look, I don't make the rules. NASCAR makes the rules. They make their schedule up. I don't really care where it's at. I love racing, period. I think that this move to the LA Coliseum is going to be something that could possibly launch NASCAR into the future. Not only, like I said, from the one-of-a-kind racing and what they're able to do inside of coliseums or stadiums, but what they're doing on the entertainment side and the celebrity side of it as well, man. I mean, you've got, there again, huge names out there, man. You got Pitbull, Ice Cube, DJ Ski. You've got I don't know how many celebrities are going to be hosts of different events and during race reporters on pit road and in the race. And then you have grand marshals that are being released as we go on through the week. So the two have already been announced. You got Eric Dickerson and you got Jim Abbott, two great athletes there that are going to be grand marshals and get that race started off. But there's going to be one announced all the way throughout the week. So make sure you tune into a Race Hub there. They're going to drop the names of who it is as we lead up to that race on Sunday. But I think it's just NASCAR is doing a great, fantastic job of putting brand new eyes on a sport that we all know have a lot of old eyes on, right? I'm one of the younger ones. I know maybe a handful of people that are a little bit younger than me that actually enjoy watching NASCAR, right? It's kind of a dying thing. And a lot of the guys that are staples in NASCAR have been doing this from the 70s and 80s and 90s are getting up there in age and maybe not liking where the sport's turning. So like I said, right now, it is doing what NASCAR needs to do to try to involve sponsorship and new viewership in the sport. I think it's great. We're going to see how the race works out. I think the format's amazing. I think that the race itself is going to end up being amazing. I think the low speeds are going to lead to a lot of bumping, a lot of moving. We're just going to have to wait and see, man. But yeah, like I said, to me, I think it's probably one of the biggest moves that NASCAR's made in the last decade or so. And I think hopefully it pays off big for them there at the LA Coliseum this Sunday. So moving right in, I talked a little bit about it earlier. Kyle Larson, as I sat there and said, man, I think, you know, racing very close to home, having those roots, going to these dirt tracks, man, I do want to give him a big shout out because here's the one thing about Kyle Larson that I love. There's no appearance money paid to this man. He doesn't go, hey, you pay me X amount of dollars, I'll show up at your event on the track, right? That's not what he did down here at Golden Isles. He just has a love to go out and race the race car, man. It doesn't matter if it's midgets, if it's late models, if it's wing sprints. It doesn't matter if it's NASCAR. It doesn't matter what it is. He just loves to drive. And I think one of the biggest things is just the passion for it and what it means for the fans to be able to get this close to somebody they kind of look up as an idol. Drivers, small kids get to kind of interact with them, see them, talk to them a little bit. That is one thing I've always loved about NASCAR. It is the most fan-friendly sport there is, period. You can get up close and personal with people that you look up to or you're a racing idol or who you pull for. You can get up close to these guys all the time, get autographs, take pictures, man, do your thing, and that's what I love. And the fact that Kyle Larson, here he is, a NASCAR champion last year, goes to a small dirt track, which it's 0.4 of a mile. It's a really nice facility down there in Brunswick and Golden Isles if you've never been. It is a nice facility. But he goes there out of his own pocket just to go race. He walked away with $8,000, man. So for a guy that just won a 2021 NASCAR championship to go down there just to race, I think it's absolutely amazing. So big cheers to Kyle Larson, man. My kind of folks right there. So that kind of wraps it up for the Who's Hot. Like I said, keeping it a little short on those until we get into some racing and I get some rants going, because I'm sure I'll have quite a few of those this year, man. But at the end of the day, like I said, going to move right on into Who's Not. And, you know, who's not? I had trouble coming up with something, and I sat here and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I thought about it, and I'm going, man, I really don't know what to say about who's not. So we're going to go in with it like this, man. The people that I'm thinking is not hot right now are going to be some older fans of NASCAR that I touch base on and that don't like the direction the sport's going and just have comments to go out there and talk about the sport that they love, that they watch longer than I've watched it. But just like any other sport, it's going to change. Technology advances, situations change, money changes, sponsor changes, cars change, drivers change. I mean, it's just part of it. So for me as a fan, I just love the racing aspect of it. I don't care, like I said a million times, if these guys are out there on tricycles pedaling around, I'm still going to watch it, man. I'm a race fan. I just enjoy racing, right? So there again, I think for the Who's Not, we're just going to go there. I think some of these guys need to open their eyes and kind of look at the sport and where we're headed and what it's going to be here in the next 10 years because I think NASCAR is definitely trying to get back to some of their roots, man. They're definitely trying to incorporate some of these smaller racetracks, maybe not the Cup Series, but Truck Series, Xfinity Series, the Nashville Fairgrounds, Rockingham, North Wilkesboro. A lot of these tracks are coming back, I'm telling you. As I announced last week, truck race, man. It's coming. So you guys just got to get ready and kind of move on, man. And at the end of the day, if you don't have anything good to say about it or you don't like where it's headed, just don't watch it on Sunday. But don't, yeah, like that word. Don't say that. That's a horrible word. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you don't like watching what we got going on now, just don't watch it. But don't comment on it as well, man. So here we go, getting ready. Sunday, Busch Light Clash. Main event starting there at 6 o'clock. Like I said, 23 cars will be in that main event, 150 laps. Heat races start at 3. I think cover starts right around 2 o'clock with pre-race stuff. So make sure you tune into this. It is going to be a once-of-a-time deal. Like I'm telling you, this might be something they do in different stadiums. I saw a little rumor mill turning today about, you know, who they thought Corey LaJoie would say in AT&T Stadium, Cowboy Stadium. I'm telling you, this might be a new thing. This might be like a traveling race that moves around to different football stadiums every year, different events, man. I don't know. Who knows? I enjoy it. It doesn't matter to me where it's going to be. I'm looking forward to this one, man. Huge music lineup. Like I mentioned earlier, you got Pitbull doing pre-race stuff. You got Ice Cube doing, I think, halfway or like an intermission. And then in between the cautions and all the race breaks, you got DJ Ski, a world-renowned DJ is going to be playing music, getting it hype at the LA Coliseum. NASCAR making history in all kinds of places, man. And that's what it's all about. Keep the history going, man. Racing is going to be very entertaining, short track, quarter mile. Speeds are going to be very low, not very fast paced, but you can believe there's going to be a lot of bumping and a lot of moving some guys out and around, man. This gives the perfect opportunity for these guys to kind of get what the feel of the next gen is going to be on somewhat shorter racetracks and just get some experience behind it. A lot of these guys weren't in the testing, weren't you know, there 2 or 3 times testing these cars and weren't involved in tire tests. So this is going to be the first time that some of these guys get behind the wheel of the next gen car, man. Simulation probably, but the real deal on the racetrack, this is going to be it right here. So like I said, we're going to see, kind of get a little taste of what we're going to see there at Daytona in what, the next couple weeks. I mean, not even really after Sunday. You got a little bit of time before the 125. So man, this is going to be exciting. I'm excited about it. Hopefully you guys are too, man. So as you guys know, when we get back to racing, I always do the top 5. It's been a few months, but I got the top 5 picks right here. And a lot of them are going to kind of go by some odds that I've seen out there, and it just kind of, I write this list and then check them out for the second half of something new we're starting this year. But it just so happened that 4 out of the 5 guys that I picked were inside the top 5 in odds. It's just kind of how that works sometimes. But number 1 on the list, and it's going to be a guy, and it's got to be Denny Hamlin, man. So we don't have any information really to go off of in this next-gen car and how it's going to handle and how it's going to race on a short track like a quarter-mile track we're going to see at the LA Coliseum. Closest thing we got is Martinsville, right? Flat, paperclip, half-mile. A little longer straightaways, sharper turns maybe. But at the end of the day, I go off experience. I go off of a guy that knows how to race these short tracks, know how to get the car to turn, knows how to get it to bike coming in or out and roll the center. That's going to be the 11 of Denny Hamlin, man. I think that guy right there is at 6-1 right now. There's 3 guys that are at that. I'll take him first on my list starting it out. Hopefully, we'll see if he can get a win, man. 2 for me, I mean, I cannot leave this guy out. 2021 NASCAR champion Kyle Larson, been racing all offseason in all kinds of different cars on dirt. I think there again, he's got enough racing ability and talent behind that wheel to figure this out pretty quick and get it going. Now, a lot of this is also going to depend on the heat races and where you qualify, because I probably will say passing without bumping is going to be a little bit tough, man. You're going to get stuck beside guys, I feel like, for a couple laps like we see at Martinsville. The gap will grow. You're going to have to be able to run that guy back down. But there again, I think Kyle Larson's got a great shot at it. 3, probably one of the guys that's got one of the best short track resumes in the sport, maybe not the winningest, but always runs good, it seems like, and that's the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. There again, finished 2nd in last year's championship. Good race car driver, period, man. Great equipment over there at Gibbs. There again, probably going to get it figured out pretty quick, so look out for the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. there. 4, you guys know I can't leave him out ever on any top 5 list. I'm telling you, maybe twice a year this happens. And it's the man, the myth, the legend, the 2020 NASCAR champion, Mr. Chase Elliott, man. Loving all this. Got to wear the championship shirt to get it started out. Would love nothing more to see this Georgia boy bring that trophy home just like the Dogs did. Man, I'm telling you right now, hopefully Matt Stafford brings home the Super Bowl. I just want Dogs to win all the way around this year. Braves won, Dogs win, Stafford wins the Super Bowl, Chase Elliott wins this race. This is going to be awesome, man. I'm telling you right now. But I got him at 4 on the list. There again, I think a young kid that grew up doing nothing but asphalt racing. Dirt was not in any kind of form of anything he did as a child, man. When he was coming up through the ranks, it's all asphalt. So when you put him in a car, and I feel like there again, it doesn't matter what kind of car it is, a guy that's raced his whole life on asphalt, he's going to get this figured out pretty quick. So there again, Chase Elliott got to make the list at number 4. I would feel stupid if I didn't put a Penske driver on here. I got to put Joey Logano on here. There again, Martinsville, Richmond, has some good runs there, had good runs there in the past. New Hampshire comes to mind. A lot of different style than this, don't get me wrong. But he knows how to go out there and get it done, put himself in the position to win races. I put him 5th on the list. Now, a couple dark horses that were a little bit deeper in that surprised me. Alex Bowman. If we remember, we had some drama there at this cutoff race right before the championship race, man, when Alex Bowman cost me a little bit of money because I had Hamlin and he decided that he was going to kind of spin Hamlin out and win Martinsville, man. So there again, a guy that can definitely go out and get it done. Maybe didn't make too many friends off of that, but hey, he was going for a race win, and that's what he went out and did, and his odds were down there pretty good. So surprisingly enough to me, as a dark horse, I'd probably jump on Alex Bowman. Now, another guy is in a brand new piece of equipment that he's never raced for before. Brand new team. He's actually a partial owner, and that's going to be the 6 of Brad Keselowski, man. I expect some big things out of that 6 car this year. I'm sure they're going to be on the struggle bus there at times throughout the season, as a lot of these drivers do. It is very rare that you see these guys just consistent week in and week out for 38 races, 39 plus weeks, man. So I'm sure they'll get on the struggle bus a little bit, but look out there again at a short track and a guy that knows how to get around them. Brad Keselowski in that 6, man, definitely going to kill it. So, money bet. This is the new thing right here, man. We're going to do the money bet, which don't get it twisted with the money team, because he's also, it's official. They're going to be in the Daytona 500 there with Kaz Gralla, man. I will throw that out there. Mayweather, it's official. They're racing the 500, man. So, going to be cool. But this is what we're going to call the money bet. So, we talked about this last year. We're actually going to take real money. We're going to keep a running tally of what we win, what we lose throughout the whole season, betting on one driver on their odds for every single race. So there again, looking at some of these odds, I'm not going any kind of crazy. This is the first time that we're going to see the next-gen car in race action. It's a totally different style of qualifying and anything we're going to see for the rest of the year. Brand new car, brand new situation, brand new track. I'm going with the for sure thing that I feel like, or something that I might have to spend a little bit of money and not win that much money, but I got to go with the 11 of Denny Hamlin. 1 on the list, man. There again, I think he can go out and get it done. I think that he's got the talent to make it happen. The money's not going to be a huge hit, but at the end of the day, man, hey, it's going to be better. We're going to bet $20 this week on Denny Hamlin at 6-1 odds, man. So we'll see if this 11 car brings it home. We'll see if I go 20 in, already in the hole, starting it out, man. But we're going to keep a running tally. It's going to be fun. Maybe if you make the same bets, hopefully I steer you in the right direction. You can make some money, man. We're going to figure it out. But like I said, starting the season out, new car, new track. Got to be the 11 of Denny Hamlin for me, man. Tied in a 3-way top favorite up there. So, all right, now this one here we're going to get into, and I hope nobody gets upset with me out there. This is going to be the hard right turn, and basically it kind of relates to the who's not and the who's hot in a way. So we're going to be talking about new NASCAR and new demographics, man. So if you've been watching this sport long enough like I have, we all know that NASCAR out there gets labeled as probably one of the top 2 whitest sports, right? And I don't mean that in a derogatory way. Just a lot of drivers, a lot of owners. You know, Bubba Wallace is in the sport now. I mean, it's very few and far between we see any ethnicity through drivers. Daniel Suarez, I mean, it's starting to happen, right? And ownership as well. Now, NASCAR has had diversity in ownership there for quite a few years. There's been different guys that have gone through and done this. But the new NASCAR is turning into a different demographic. There again, I think the Busch Clash is really going to set the telltale for the new NASCAR. Pitbull performing, Ice Cube performing, DJ Ski performing. Like I said, 3 guys from 3 different genres of music with 3 different fan bases that are all going to tune in or be at this race that normally don't watch NASCAR. So the thing that I hope is hopefully some of these people that put their eyes on this sport through this race at the LA Coliseum continue, grow a love for the sport and go, man, I like NASCAR. I like this. This is really cool stuff, you know, and build on it, man. And in the years of so much past speculation about NASCAR being a racist sport in a way, you know, 99.9% of the people that go to these races aren't that way. There are a 0.1 or there are folks in every sport, it doesn't matter what it is, that are going to have their feelings towards other ethnicity of people, other races of people. Me, I've never been that way. I enjoy everybody. I enjoy everything, you know, so hopefully we're getting to a demographic where this is built, a lot more eyes get involved. I mean, like I said, Alvin Kamara is involved in the sport. You see all kinds of different grand marshals. We got Pitbull owning teams. We got Floyd Mayweather coming in. We got Michael Jordan out here. I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, to me, the only thing that matters to me, it's not the color of your skin. It's the color of what kind of clothes you got on and who you pulling for. Because if you ain't pulling for the 9 car and you gonna have these colors, we're probably not gonna be friends either way, man. But definitely something I think a lot of people need to open their eyes to out there and just understand that it's changing, man. There's more people willing to get involved, more sponsors for different things. This is what it's all about, growing not only as a sport, but as a nation, man. So that's where we're at on that. So that's going to wrap it up there for the rubbing part. We're getting ready to move into the grubbing. Now, this is going to be one of my wife's favorite meals here. This is something that she absolutely loves. I love it too. It's one of my favorite things to eat. It's coming up. It's going to be what they call the Gamecock Salad, man. So this is a loaded salad. It's got olives, onions, peppers, tomatoes. John's bringing it up. Thanks, John. Appreciate you, man.
Pretty salad.
Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you, brother. Yes, sir. So, like I said, black olives, green peppers, mushrooms, tomatoes, chicken. Feta for her, because that's how she loves it. Going ranch. Nah, Kyle Busch, he wish he could have a salad this good. I'm not even going to tell you what kind of salad Kyle Busch eats. We're just going to go right on past that. But I can tell you this Gamecock salad is absolutely amazing, man. Cannot wait to get off and get into this thing. If you've never had this, another hidden gem here at Coach's, man. Make sure you check this out. So, hey, want to give a big shout out there to everybody, man. PJ Zuko over there at Green White Checkered. I've been trying to get in touch with him this week. I know he's a busy man. Don't know if we're going to start it up next Sunday. I'm waiting to hear a word, or this Sunday, excuse me. But if we are, I so look forward to it, man. It's such an awesome show. Green White Checkered, Sundays, 9 to 9:30. PJ Zuko and myself breaking down everything new in NASCAR, all the news that's going down. I'm telling you, it's a little more structured than this, and some stuff does happen after Wednesdays. So make sure you tune into that every single Sunday, 9 to 9:30, ESPN 104.3, and you can check it out on ESPN Coastal's Facebook Live as well, man. So check that out. Big shout out to John and Adele Henderson again at Coach's Corner for everything they do for me. Man, I absolutely love it here. They put a lot of time and effort into doing a lot of events and a lot of stuff for the community, man. Absolutely love them. Great folks, as is everybody here at Coach's Corner. As I say all the time, great food, great drinks, great times, great folks right here, man. Come check us out. Coach's Corner, Thunderbolt, Georgia, center of the universe, man. And you can always tune into shows on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, man. So Coach Demasi going to get his thing rolling here coming up. Every Saturday, there again, you got the Demasi Sports Report coming to you live from Coach's, man. Coach Carl, absolutely amazing dude. Hopefully get to catch up with you soon, Coach. Miss you, man. 19th hole coming up here for the Masters in April. You got the Arbor brothers, and these boys are crazy. Big Kyle Busch fan, you know. I mean, you know, Sean's a big Kyle Busch fan. So I'm sure I'm going to have a little bit of treat for their show also, as they do on mine every once in a while. So we're definitely going to have some fun this year. But it is an awesome, awesome Master show, one of a kind. Nobody else does this. Live from the Henderson cabin out back here at Coach's. Those two dudes clown it up. Very knowledgeable about golf, man. They know their stuff. They break down every single round. So make sure during the Masters you tune in right here, Coach's Corner, for the 19th hole with the Herbs, man. They're some awesome dudes, man. But big shout out to everybody else, man. Hope everybody's having a great Wednesday as always. Hope everybody's excited as I am for this race that's coming up on Sunday, man. I think it's going to be big. I think it's going to be awesome. And I'm just glad to see some cars back on the track in race performing, man. So make sure you guys tune into that. And like I said, every Wednesday right here at Coach's Corner, 6 until I run out of breath, rubbing and grubbing, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I say all the time, hug and kiss your loved ones. Got it right again this week. That's 2 weeks in a row I got that right. And until next time, y'all, wash your hands.
Go, boys!
Yeah!
Go, boys! Yeah! Yeah! Woo!
All right.
Boy, meatball!